And here we go on a Friday morning, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Carson Meredith here with you on this Friday morning, filling in for Brian Good, who is under the weather this morning. I'll do my best to fill his shoes on this damp and dreary Friday morning. Good news is the rain is moving out. And all in all, the upcoming Thunder weekend's looking pretty good, but it will be cooler. We've all been kind of spoiled with the 80s this week. Hope you enjoyed it because that is not coming back, at least for a little bit. So if you have any questions, we go along this morning, as always, let me know. Let's see who is chiming in this morning. All right. Michael says, there we go. We made it on the other side of a stormy night. Yes, we did. And we got away largely unscathed here in Wave Country, but I will recap at least a couple of damage reports we had here in a minute or so. Judy says, good morning. Laura, good morning, all. Let's see. Weather Geek, happy Friday. Same to you, Weather Geek. Watches us on YouTube all the time. Ralph watches in Nicholasville this morning. Good morning. Yeah, Brian's not feeling good, unfortunately, Ellen, but we'll get him on the mend, and hopefully he'll be back here with you guys on Monday morning, but we will hold down the fort in the meantime. Okay, let's dive right in, shall we? Radar is quiet. A little bit of a rocky night. Around midnight is when those storms rolled into the metro, if you slept through it, in case you missed all the fun. And as we expected, those storms, as they moved in from the west, weakened quite a bit. And really, once we got past I-65, once those storms got past I-65, they just kind of fell apart. Having said that, there were a handful of storm reports in Wave Country. I won't pinpoint every single one here, but we'll zoom in on Harrison and Meade County. Had a little pocket of damaging wind gusts here and there. Let's just pick out one of these points, shall we? Just to the west of Dogwood in Harrison County. Some trees down on New Amsterdam Road in Valley City. And that was really the main damage that we had last night. It was just a few trees down here and there. Here in the city, the only significant damage report we had was in St. Matthews. Big tree fell onto a house on Wallace Avenue in St. Matthews, pretty close there to Trinity High School. Actually fell into a house and caused a little bit of damage to that house, unfortunately. That was just after midnight, 12:17. But a few minutes before that, around 12:12 at the airport, look at that wind, 62 miles per hour. Yeah, that is definitely severe wind gust, and that's why we had the severe thunderstorm warning here in Louisville around just around midnight last night. But like we mentioned, once those storms got past I-65, they virtually collapsed, and all we were left with was some rain. So all in all, obviously we had some of that damage in St. Matthews, but otherwise we got away without many issues last night, and I think we can all be thankful for that. All right, to the comments we go. Let's see. Beverly's asking about any sunshine. Maybe today, Beverly. We'll see. Those clouds are moving out, so some of you will be lucky enough to get a few peaks of blue sky later on today. Shonda, always watching in Jeffersonville. Donnie, good morning. Adam, good morning from Bloomington. Yeah, Adam's feeling sick too. Something must be going around. I'll tell you what's been killing me is these allergies. I haven't lived in the Ohio Valley in 5 years, so trying to get used to that again has been a struggle lately. Let's give you the wide view, shall we, across the region. There you see that cold front. It is moving through as we speak. And what you'll notice as the day goes on is those cooler temperatures. Now, is it going to be this gigantic temperature drop? Not necessarily. A lot of us are in the 50s now, and we'll recover back into the 60s this afternoon. But it will be noticeably cooler than what we've had the last few days. What's left of the storms we saw overnight? It's not much now, just a little bit of rain moving through the Appalachian Mountains, West Virginia, Western Virginia, Western North Carolina. Had a couple of warnings down in Alabama. Looks like there's one in South Carolina this morning, but all of that is moving on out. And the big story as we head into Thunder weekend will be the cooler temperatures, but also the calmer forecast. We're going to settle things down over the next few days. That's a live view from our Paristown SkyTrack camera. You still see the clouds are holding tough. Our current temperature here in the city is 57. So that colder air is indeed moving in, and we'll likely bottom out pretty much in this range, 55, 56, 57, somewhere in that ballpark here in the city. And we'll climb maybe about 10 more degrees this afternoon as that sun tries to peek out. Now, you do notice the wind. For one, it's out of the northwest now. That obviously the reason why it's getting cooler. But look at that gust, 24 miles per hour. So it's going to be on the breezy side, not just today, but likely into Thunder Day tomorrow as well. Keep that in mind if you're heading out to the waterfront tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, because remember, it's already going to be a little bit cooler along the river as it is. You add a little breeze out of the north and west, that'll make things feel even cooler than it already is. There's a look at those temperatures across the board. Lower 50s actually in southern Indiana, 50 in Paoli, 50 in Bedford, 52 in Seymour and Salem, 51 in North Vernon, 55 in Jeff. But where that cold front has not moved through yet, for our friends down to the south along the parkways, yeah, still holding on to the low 60s. 60 in Bardstown, 63 in Lebanon and Columbia, 61 in Mumfordville. But you guys will start to feel those cooler temperatures, I'd say, in the next hour or two. So we're all going to bottom out in the low to mid 50s here through about noon. And then we'll try to recover into that low 60s range as those clouds start to clear out this afternoon. Next 12 hours, again, is it going to be full sunshine later today? No. But there will be a few peaks of sun here and there. We've got a forecast high of 68. That's going to be a little bit of a stretch. It'll probably be more 65, 66 because those clouds are still holding tough. So it all just comes down to when those clouds clear out, how much they clear out, and that'll decide if we warm up much at all later on this afternoon. Let's see. Shonda's saying it is definitely cooler outside. Gonna need those jackets. Certainly will. Alicia says, blessed morning, everyone. Same to you, Alicia. Hope all is well. So, in general, we're quieting things down. Before we move on to the weekend, I'll talk about the cloud cover here. You notice it's obviously pretty overcast right now. That cloud cover around 80, 90%. But see how quickly those clouds clear out past 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So some of you will get lucky with a lot of sunshine this afternoon. Others, not so much. If you're in southern Indiana and Louisville, you'll see a decent bit of sun. Further south, where that cold front's still kind of meandering, might be a little while before you see some of those clearing skies. All right, let's jump to tomorrow because things are looking pretty good for Thunder this year. If you've been around here long enough, you know that Thunder is always a wild card as to what could happen. I distinctly remember about 10, 15 years ago, there was a Thunder where it was sleeting and in the 40s during the air show, down into the 30s for fireworks time. That will not be the case this year. It's all actually looking pretty good, guys. Mostly sunny. It will be cooler. It will be breezy. Something I've noticed in the morning data is our afternoon highs are trending a little bit cooler than what we have currently forecast, right around 66. It might be more of that 64-degree range instead. So low to mid 60s if you're heading out for any festivities tomorrow. But honestly, with that mostly sunny sky, it's going to be pretty decent for Thunder standards. The only thing we may have to complain about tomorrow is that breeze. It is going to stay breezy with some gust around 20, maybe 25 miles per hour throughout the day tomorrow. For the air show, gets going around 3 o'clock, 64. As far as the clouds are concerned, there will be some clouds around, but it's not going to be enough to cause any issues. So we expect those cloud ceilings to be well over 10 to 12,000 feet. So there shouldn't be any flight restrictions for the air show tomorrow. It is going to be breezy, but for the most part, they can handle those kind of winds. And it should be just fine. Low to mid 60s, a nice quiet Thunder forecast. If only we can have this 2 Saturdays from now as we get closer and closer to Derby. For the fireworks tomorrow night, we'll still be hovering at near 50 degrees. But I caution, again, along the river, it's already going to be a degree or two colder just being on the river itself. and it's still going to be a little breezy. That wind should subside as we get closer to fireworks time tomorrow night. 9:30, I think, is the start time for that. But it's still going to be chilly. So if you are heading to the waterfront tomorrow, at any point, just to be safe, grab those jackets. You do not need an umbrella. You don't need a poncho, nothing like that. Just get a couple of jackets, maybe a blanket, just to stay on the warmer side as you're waiting for those fireworks tomorrow evening. But all in all, it's looking pretty good. Tomorrow looks to be a good day for grass mowing, Adam says. Yeah, I'd say so. Just keep a jacket handy. Should be just fine. Looks good for any other plans you might have. Racing Louisville's in town with the game tomorrow evening around 5 o'clock. That looks pretty good as well. So we're going to keep things nice and quiet. Something we've also been watching is the river levels along the Ohio as far as potentially impacting your views or where you're going to sit at Thunder tomorrow. In fact, let me switch things over to the Great Lawn here briefly. You can see the waters are receding slowly. You can see the debris line if you look very closely on the Great Lawn, closer to the edge of the Ohio, where that water was. So it's receding just a little bit, but is it going to completely recede where it completely clears out all of those submerged areas on the Great Lawn? Not necessarily. Something to keep in mind tomorrow, by the way, even if as the water is dropping, there's going to be some leftover debris that kind of washed ashore when that river was running a little bit high. So something to keep an eye on tomorrow, but there shouldn't be major issues as far as finding the right location to watch all the festivities tomorrow. So again, the McAlpin lower gauge on the Ohio, it is steadily dropping now. It'll continue to drop tomorrow, heading into the rest of this weekend and early next week. Still might be a smidge high, but nothing to be majorly concerned about. You see the lower gauge also peaking pretty much now and will continue to drop from here on out through this afternoon and into tomorrow. So again, maybe some obstructions for those sight lines right along the Ohio, but just be on the lookout for some debris and you'll be just fine. So that's where we stand for tomorrow with Thunder. Now, as far as the smoke tomorrow, it's going to be a little on the breezy side. Most of that wind will be out of the southeast or northwest, I should say, moving southeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So if you're looking for that prime viewing spot, go into Indiana. Going to be a little smoky on the Kentucky side. Going to keep things a little quick because we got to get ready for midday. But you see on the 10-day, it's looking fairly quiet. Low 60s on Sunday, so still on the cooler side for the second half of the weekend. Then we'll warm things back up Monday and Tuesday. Monday morning, by the way, could have some frost outside of town, mid to upper 30s for some. Not going to be everywhere, but something we'll watch. And we have some low-end rain chances Tuesday and Wednesday, but it looks like it could get a little more bumpy as we head towards Marathon and Pegasus Parade weekend next weekend. So that's where we stand, guys. I'll be on the TV side of things coming up on midday, filling in for Be Good. And, of course, we'll have more updates for you this weekend as we get ever closer to Thunder over Louisville tomorrow night. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great Friday. Take care of yourself. And we'll see you later, everybody. Have a great weekend.